So in our consultation to redevelop the contractor scheme, there are some fundamental changes in there. One of which is the relationship we want to have directly with contractors ourselves. So nothing to fear if you're a great contractor, a great installer, but for those that don't deliver, the minority, for their customers, then MCS will play more of a leading role. In fact, we're going to play more of a leading role in handling consumer complaints. So that's one thing that's changing, that relationship is going to change. Two, we really want to simplify MCS, not lower the bar in terms of the standards, but actually how you get involved in MCS as a contractor. So making it easy to evidence your delivered quality versus having lots of back office systems and paperwork. So that's another change. We want every contractor to be able to demonstrate they've got the technical ability for every single installation, not as is currently the case where you have to nominate a technical person who might sit in an ivory tower, but actually for every single installation we need somebody to take responsibility in your business and say this is technically compliant with the standards. So that kind of relationship, bringing together the technical competency with a customer's solution, that's part of the changes we're bringing about to the MCS scheme. MCS is 15 years old and we're 5 years on from novation, the point at which MCS became charity owned and not run by the government. So it's appropriate that we have a look at the scheme and make sure that it's fit for the next 5, 10, 15 years. And we've been gathering evidence over the last 5 years of what works and what doesn't. And we've understood that. We've got a lot of feedback from customers and from contractors themselves. So we feel that now is the right time. It feels like certainly the heating industry, as it looks at low temperature heating and the deployment of heat pumps, feels like we need to embrace that more and get that ready for the future. Solar PV is going great guns, it's fantastic. So we want to use the learning we've had from solar to help us really encourage more adoption of heat pumps in the future. So as a standard setting organisation, we benefit from volunteers essentially who give up their technical knowledge, and we're the industry standards designed by industry for industry. So it's entirely appropriate that we talk to the industry about the scheme, that we wrap around those standards. So we are talking to installers, we're talking to customers, we're talking to stakeholders in government, we're talking to trade associations. We want all of their views on what MCS needs to be for the future. We don't own MCS. We're part of the sector, the governing body, if you like, for the sector. So it's for the sector to decide what it wants MCS to be in the future. So that's why we've gone to public consultation. If you Google MCS scheme redevelopment, you'll find the page. On there is the consultation itself. It's about 30 pages long. There's a response form, and we're encouraging people to answer as many of those questions as they want to. They can answer one or all of the questions that are in the consultation. In fact, if they don't want to answer the questions, we also want to hear from them. So they can write to mcsmeetings@mcscertified.com and just give us their sense of what they want MCS to be in the future. So multiple ways to talk to us until the consultation comes to an end on the 17th of July. That's the deadline that everybody needs to meet. We'll then need to assess all that feedback and we're going to report back. We're going to share it openly. What did people say to us? What was the majority view? And how will that now shape what MCS becomes next year? We're going to need a period of time, depending on the volume and the complexity of the input, probably several weeks to really get through and digest that detail. We will then have to present the new scheme to the market, the new scheme design and all its documents that are currently in draft only, and we think that's going to be early September. And so from that early December presenting the scheme, there will then be a period of transition, and we don't think we can run the existing scheme alongside the new scheme. That'll just be too confusing if it was possible even. So we're likely to see something like 6 months So after September, 6 months transition where everybody gets used to the new scheme, and then we go live, say in April next year or something like that.